Let's move to the next map. Quit stalling. I want to watch the next map.
Vulnerable. Titans, they want to be able to get here ASAP. Avox going to have to land a big nade. There it is. Super Fluke is going to be cleansed though, hardest as well. No biotic grenade onto them anymore.
So it looks like they picked something like this, basically assuming they were going to get forward holded, and I imagine they scouted it, they heard them like playing close. So this is a play just to basically live in spawn, but this doesn't have the same kill pressure as a Brig does, so sure they have the sustain advantage and they're looking to play that sustain advantage, but it doesn't offer them the same kill potential if their Ana isn't able to land an anti. She's standing in the right spot. Nico plays to contest her though. Like, Nico is just constantly boosting into Avox, so their sustain on Angry Titans actually isn't that good, because Avox is just playing the high ground, playing to like shoot them in the back. Well, you can see Eagle, it's like two people are committing to protect, it's the Ana and the D.Va are playing the high ground, so they're not doing damage, and then it's just Nico contesting the high ground right now. The rest of the members were all playing aggressively. Hardest again is really outpacing Onigod on ult.
Ready to lay down yet another Graviton, of course. 90% now, hitting those fat morts. He's got it ready to go. It's not going to be long as he lays it down, and there it is. Like how? How do you even charge it that quickly? I just don't know. Littlebow is going to find one in the boot kill. Very easy team wipe here for Eagle Gaming on the defense. We said they were going to hold this far up, and that's exactly what they are doing. The strategy here from Angry Titans was to move out from different...
He does these little things as well. There's members peeking him right here where they shouldn't be. They're not getting any value from that. 100 energy Zarya. They need to be not be eating these right clicks as they're coming out. Like, I don't think you pin here. Like, I understand they're engaged. They're gonna get nano soon, which is fine. The play here for Angry Titans is throw the D.Va bomb back onto the bridge pretty far, and then nano the Rein so that they have to walk into the nano Rein. That's basically the play here. Shatter goes off, it doesn't do anything. He loses mech though. Does he get shattered? Okay, he loses his mech. That's a problem, because this doesn't end up doing anything. Because basically all of Eagle end up kiting because of the bomb, but they could have nanoed the Rein in a much better way. They don't have the Zen anymore, so they kind of lost their win condition here, so they shouldn't be committing. Because they're going to lose this long fight. Angry just needed to engage. Like, you get your healing up, but then you just go straight in once you have the man advantage, because Eagle has to walk from so far back. They gave enough time for, like, Hip to come back is the problem. So this is actually even. 142 to come out of your spawn though. That is painfully bad. It's definitely more they could have done. Save him from a burst damage of Nico's self-destruct, but of course the self-destruct does 1,000 damage, which can outdo the sound barrier if it's close enough. Only God looking towards his tank to try and protect him, does get hit to the floor though, that shadow did come through from Super. They just committed didn't get the highest value shatter. I think Super Bluke's just like playing better this whole series, like position wise. Like Lowfish is he's going for like a really aggressive shatter. which is fine because he's going past the shield. But, I mean, they're playing to, like... This is a really good bubble as well to save him. But when he's going aggressive and, like, hits the shatter, he needs to realize that he's now opened up his backline to getting shattered. Doesn't affect them too much, though. But it was 1 ults for 2, and they got another fight here. Actually, there's 3 ults from Angry Titans. So Eagle can technically outpace them here and use something early and play to win the fight, win the long... Why did he drop shield? Did he get stunned? He does get stunned, okay.
Lilbo's going to go down to the self-destruct, followed by Superfluke. There is a Nico's bomb as well. He's going to go off, but he doesn't quite find anything. They are almost be able to deliver the payload. 0.15 meters. That's only 1 step off of it, and that will be the capture for Eagle Gaming. The rest of them take a dunk, surfs up for Superfluke and Hip. They end up going for the full reset here, and that'll be Angry Titans still having that shatter in their arsenal. Smart reset there from Eagle Gaming, not allowing Onigod to take advantage of his high energy in order to build up towards a Graviton. And that's often where Hardest gets most of his Graviton charge from. That is a surplus to your regular Graviton surge charge. He manages to catch people out as they're trying to reset, do some extra damage.
So you can see Eel is like rotating like very quickly here, and they're not allowing like those rotations before, where basically Hardest was able to just sit there for all these maps and basically just farm his Grav because of lazy positioning. Ulsish has been going for like some pretty strange shatters, I'd say. Sun's down, so you ideally want to. I'm trying to see like the windows where he's seeing as well. I think it looks good, but at the same time, it's like, okay. Superfluke jumps, but he's bubbled right now. So it doesn't even matter if you shatter. He's in the air. I think they try to time it right, but like him and Zarya both had used their bubbles. Right now would be the time to shatter. Like you gotta wait for those bubbles to come out. I think he was just going for it too aggressively. And I mean, you can bait the bubbles, I'd say. Once the Rein is discorded, they're going to use the bubble to cleanse it at some point.
It does feel like Angry Titans have finally found their rhythm. Joy's going to be moving forward as well with this Transcendence from the side of Avox. But don't really have any playmaking ultimate, so Evo can try and bring in this.
They aren't doing the same level of baiting well with shatters and stuff that I noticed that Korea was doing. There was a lot more baiting with like baiting members to get shattered and then counter shattering.
Graviton surge in the initiation. Only got the 3 kills. Is going to play a hello to Hardest. He finds another kill on top of him, and again another team fight win. They are going to be able to deliver this payload. 3rd point may be in contention if Angry Titans. 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
They're getting outpaced there as well.
Superfluke seem to have a read on Lulsish when it comes to laying down these shadows, but it does feel like over time.
So if you're like getting rotated on a bunch of times and you have Zarya on your team, you need to make sure that you're not using Grav in lost fights.
Now Superfluke has to try and lay down his own shadow to aid this Graviton. Oh, nice shot Ayaki there. Just zip round once again. There's the hammer from Superfluke, trying it once more, just trying to stop these members of Angry Titans ingressing on that Graviton surge. Only did land up 5 people, but no kills have gone through just yet. And in fact, a sound barrier for Eagle Gaming makes sure they can push forward onto Lulsish, punish him for having no shield.
Did he do another bad shatter?
And there's the hammer from Superfluke, trying it once more, just
like they do like pretty. Eagle does good to isolate him here, like in the left room, but then their backline gets exposed here. So like it's good that they're forcing the fight into here because they technically have more members to like kill this Rein, but these members now become the threat to all these members that have potential to walk up on them. So they have to like get this kill quickly and then like rotate back. Ends up being just like a massive fight here. I think he tries to shatter. He tries to like shatter all the people like here while he's like alone. And they all end up rotating out, so yeah, I don't know. Shatters have been kind of bad.
After 4 failures in a row, you've got to find it in the end. Investing 2 support ultimates, in fact 3, sorry. I think Hip uses Transcendence somewhere in there also. Stops them for the moment, but 2 minutes remain still for Angry Titans. And Losish not really with an ult to bear really here. We do see Evil Gaming with ultimate economy advantage. Look at how much health Fox has right now thanks to the repair pack and for rally armor coming through from Murky. All of Angry Titans currently on fire. Everyone's going to be building up towards that. Self-destruct rather sharply here. The Rhines will clash. Super Blue quickly moving up towards the Earth Shatter, and Hardest is going to be joining him. We know just how effective he can be with these slams. I feel like Hardest just...
It's really hard for them to get any space if they 6-man it here. Like if they all run down mid, you can see how like some members on Eagle are allowed to play up here and then like poke down at an angle. D.Va's allowed to shoot from like over here. So there is like a decent amount of crossfiring that can happen where even if the Rhine is holding shield, it's still not going to get the same value because he can get like shot at near the corners and stuff. So you can see his shield is like, it's cracking, and then Super Blue hasn't had like much pressure on his own, so I don't know if you can like walk like that like they did, and then this chance is just too late.
Forced to retreat anyway, and now they don't have that Transcendence for this Graviton Surge that is coming up from Hardest. Some great psychological play there from Hardest to try and play with Fox's mind. I imagine he's going to be wishing that he had that one back. Urky, low on health, is going to get healed up here by Luddy.
Like I think this is what you have to do. You have to like force the enemy team to path differently. You can't let them stand in all their optimal spots and poke you.
One of the strongest ultimates in the whole game, Jaws of Graviton Surge, ready to give everyone on Angry Titans for group hug treatment. Thanks for a little bit for that there. He waits for the defense matrix, and that's exactly what he was waiting for. An opening into the fight. Super Fluke finds 2. That'll be Leaf with another 2-piece as well.
I think that grab is fine, where you allow them to like go for a grab, but you make it more risky, where like you force them to have to walk up and path here, where you give yourself a chance to actually have a lot of members here to like burst as they're at this point here. You don't let them have this engaged spot where they're able to poke you from multiple angles on defense, and then on offense you're limiting yourself where you can poke from.
You show Hardest to crack him the armor and he will tear it wide open. Jaws, he's opened the heart of Angry Titans, took it out, took a bite out of it as well. Some nice French cuisine there coming through, and Super Fluke is now ready to try and chow down on the remainder of Angry Titans. He does have the slam ready. There's the grab, the slam comes down as well from both sides. Elivo does...
I feel like this bomb should have gotten more. Let's see where the Zarya paths.
The heart of Angry Titans, took it out, took a bite out of it as well. Some nice French cuisine there coming through, and Super Fluke is now ready to try and chow down on...
Okay, so they amp speed boost the Zarya. It's actually just 4 members here, and then the Lucio and the Zarya are coming on the stairs. They're coming from behind. They're amp speed boosting. Nico probably could have paid attention to that and eaten that. I think the Zarya shield again blocks this, and so Lucio's the only odd man out. Gets caught by that.
Big shot from the back, but Leaf's actually going to interrupt it, and a bomb on from Nico as well just lands on the car. Only got out no shields.
He's super good to peel there. They don't have the advantage here. They need to kite back, so like the D.Va bomb does both. It zones these members from not being able to walk forward and actually protect this Rhine, and then also will buy time for these people right here that don't have the speed boost to get away, because they don't want to get engaged on by the Lucio. So it doubles. It's a really big bomb. You can see the members actually aren't able to go and help him efficiently. He's able to get back into suit as well. So it zones like 4 members, and then they're able to kite back, isolate the Rhine. Now Angry's at like the disadvantage. They don't have the amount of members to really put pressure on Eagle, so.
Great amount of control. Barrage, direct healing on the ground. They have a spot A-Fox on that Zenyatta. I would have liked to have seen A-Fox play an Ana here so he could lay down that long-range HPS like you said, because with only 30 HPS that can be dedicated to the Reinhardt over time with Erky getting the pharmacy.
We have poke here, which I kind of like, but I feel like I'm not sure if it's the best anymore. Can get countered. It's usually just better to run the better goats, or just run like the goats with 1 DPS to play to counter this. So you'd probably just play Widow with this. They don't want to open themselves up though. They want to have fast rotations, so Eagle wants to like come in this building and then find their window. Like have someone scout, and then if someone's playing over here, then they do the safest rotation. So they come out through here and then they run and engage, or they go completely around and they go for like the safest engage. But they don't want to have Hip come out like he does here, alone basically, where they basically path like this. And then he was kind of just left on his own out here, so. Also helps if you have Ana here instead. Moira works as well because you can throw heal orb out, but I like the Ana where you can play a little bit further back. So if you're like, your tanks are going to run out, you can play a little bit further back and look to just spam from a bit further. You don't have to necessarily run with your team and like get hit with the spam or like lose because your tanks like rotate just a little bit away from you. Still able to lay down all the damage that they need. Almost a barrage ready to go here, but that can be mitigated by Nico's defense matrix. They need to make sure that Nico is expending this early here to try and get rid of something else. That's incredibly close. Oh, this barrage is just so bad. A bit too far though, as Leaf ends up whip-shotting him out of the air. Does claim Nico's mech though. That could be a big advantage for Angry Titans right now. Big transcendence as well as that sound barrier getting cancelled. Okay, only God takes him out of the ground. This was a mix of a lot of bad things. I don't know what he was trying to do here. I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe he's trying to like rocket splash. He didn't actually know when he was going to get his ult. But yeah, that isn't that good. Nico loses suit though, so maybe that is the play. But there's a little bit of miscommunication here where it feels like they're trying to go for combo, but at the same time they're trying to go for res. But he just gets killed while they're going for the res. The Rein gets killed because he walks too far forward. They can. There's no mech to stop this, so the combo's going to kill the members. All the members are dying. There's no reason to use Beat. Beat does not counter the dragon combo. Then Hip just he's with the baby D.Va and he's himself, and he just walks into the dragon after using that. So I don't know. Going for the quick reset, perfectly timed there. Little Bow falls, ultimate not used. Hip there, did he use a coalescence? I'm not sure if he. I think he may well have swapped early. I don't know. But Luddy there went for a very risky res onto Erky, and Leaf claimed his. Definitely want to save that coalescence there because you can just win the next fight by just beaming the Mercy. How much he's practiced with his hero, but he's got such great aim on those whip shots, which do deliver quite a chunk of burst damage. Can take down. They want to completely hide here. There's no reason for them to be poking out. Hardest is going to get his grab here. He doesn't need to peek out. Everyone else can just hide. Just do the quick rotations. There we go. That's the rotation they needed to do. Just going to run straight into if you're not careful. Luddy is hitting everybody up from the skies. Did activate that ultimate rather early on. The coalescence is going to finish them off. The problem is they can't have these fights where this is fine where they're trading ults. But they have to have the poke advantage here. So like this when they're trading and like the ults are coming out, Angry Titans has to have more poke here and win through the poke. There's no poke landing though.
That's not where you want to be. Hardest going to run straight into if you're not careful.
There's just not enough damage landing on their team, but that's like their only win condition is whenever they make these trades, they'll heal the one tank, and then they'll out-trade them because they'll be able to do more damage with their DPS.
That's questionable.
Very questionable Graviton surge from Elivote there. He might want to switch up after this. We're not entirely sure, but he did manage to lock up a couple of members. But no follow-up means no real ultimate economy advantage here for AT. They are going to give up this first point, and there you go. He's actually switching over.
They do dump their ults, but I'm not sure.
And that was a very questionable fight right there, Jaws.
It's weird when you have GG combo, and I feel like I know they maybe want to swap so they can get like a lot of good fights here, but this is actually probably one of the best places for Pharmercy and Hanzo, because Hanzo can stand in these windows and then poke all day long, and then the Pharah can play anywhere above here, and it's really hard to counter it if the other team does not swap to another DPS. So I think the combo would have been fine if they stay on it.
So he died alone, and then we saw the laydown of the Graviton Surge, which was obviously now we know Elivote can move over to the D.Va. Only God can pick up that particular mantle, start building up towards the Graviton Surge. But Hardest, after that fight, will of course have a premium on energy. You can see him glowing like a Christmas tree down there, ready to do some damage.
Subaru's got the shadow as well. They jump straight into that one. That's going to be one bad day for Angry Titans.
So I actually think this is okay from them, like coming from behind them and like basically force Eagle to have a fight, but they have the sustain advantage technically because they have the ult advantage coming up, where their Brig has more ult charge and the Lucio has more ult charge, so they most likely will be able to out-sustain this. Well, Angry Titans just changed 4 members.
Up a little bit here. Got to be careful. Does jump up in the air. Gets a little aerial time with that one. Still managed to get it though. Oh, big boop.
But what ends up happening basically is like they position themselves so it's like members here versus here. But as soon as these members walk up, they're now all close to the edge and they're able to just boop them off, and that's what ends up happening. It's just, there's a lot of boops.
Followed up with a whip shot. That's 2 tanks dead for AT. Got to be careful now as Eagle Gaming are just marching forward, cleaning up the fight rather rapidly. Remember, Angry Titans only got 2 points on the board. They only got a little bit further as well, which means Eagle Gaming, they're setting themselves up for greatness here. 2 minutes and 20 seconds now remain for them to get it to this next point.
That wasn't even an expensive fight, Jaws. It was just the Earthshatter coming through from Superflick. The follow-up was there from Lilbo and Leaf, using their primary abilities, the whip shot and the boot, to make people go into those instant death pits. And Hardest opening it up with the Graviton Surge.
What a grab. Apex comes in with the Transcendence, double particle barrier as well from only.
Was there enough pressure? When I was watching this live, I said he probably didn't need to use trance here.
to make people go into those instant death pits.
So Hardest actually uses grab from a decent distance away, where he isn't able to instantly follow up on it. So he uses it right here. He technically now has to rotate around here to start doing damage with it. And the Ryan is standing right here, so there's a chance he only gets like 2 swings on it. He gets 1, 2. Hardest technically walks up here to get booped away. He only gets 2 swings on it, so I thought they could have saved Trance. They would have been low here, but the problem is Trance runs for another 3 seconds, then he starts backing away, where this is where I feel like they could have used it. So the problem is they're getting outpaced. The last fight they had, the Brig and the Lucio didn't get a build enough ult charge themselves, so now Eagle's going to be able to outpace them, pop the Brig ult, really run at the Rhine.
This time around, he's trying to kill her off, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to. Too much healing coming through from Angry Titans, but a boot from Littlebo actually finishes her off in the end. Hardest still moving forward, and after that Graviton Surge fight, he's already at 70%. He's going to chase Only God down. He's on 80%, almost 100 now. Eagle Gaming just need to win 1 more fight in 3 minutes to secure this and match point.
And now they're securing the spawn of Angry Titans.
Yeah, they swapped, and I know they had to swap, but then they had that fight where it was too fast, where I feel like they could have played on the poke comp, played the harder comp to play, but given themselves a chance to like eat up more time from Eagle, and then swap to a similar amount of ult charge if they would have lost 1 fight.
Nice sensitivity shows there from Elivo to try and get on the point. Graviton Surge does come out and hold up 2 people. Big bomb into the air, trying to find one. Only God is just chewing up the front line, and another Transcendence to keep Eagle Gaming alive. This is the only fight that they need to win. Lowsish moving forward has got the shatter available, does get a shield bash, but lays into him once more, but he can't lay it down for too long. There's There's a Discord orb on him, and he ends up going down almost, though, just in time. Once again, Avox comes up with a big transcendence. Nico's mech's going to fall with Super Fluke dead. They're going to go.
I'd say Eagle actually played that probably as well as they could have. They got angry Titans to pop as many ults as they could, but also with their positioning here, where they're fighting, all 6 members are technically getting 3 different AoEs of healing. So Brig, Lucio, and Cart healing right here. So 3 AoEs, while Angry Titans has a D.Va that's like zoned off to the side, so they have to play very aggressively and they have to look to like walk up, but there's a chance that they can just quickly turn it right here because they have so many members stacked on each other and they're getting more sustained. So Onigod is able to like get back damage on Super Fluke though, and they're able to get suit, so it forces Super Fluke to either like walk backwards or walk up, and then actually puts him in a bad position to get cut off. So I think Avox is just a little bit too trigger happy with these trances. I feel like he's using them when they don't technically need it. But when the positions were swapped here before, Angry Titans was exactly in where Eagle was, but Eagle kept thwarting them because they kept walking through main, and you can see Eagle's changing their positioning. They're trying to flank, they're trying to change the line of sights. They looked to baited them in though, like it feels like they like went to 6-stack this store here, and they were like, okay, there's going to be members of Angry Titans that are going to walk up and contest us. Like there's going to be Ryan, there's going to be Brig, and so as soon as these members are standing here, you can then walk out and then grab the floor basically, and then the members that are playing close, you can just play to insta-kill them. You have your supports playing safe, so they're not in threat. They basically survive this poke right here. Hardest gets grabbed, he throws it down immediately. And Angry Titans just doesn't have any support ults to actually live.